Okay, so let's get started. So this is Vivek Prakash, and I welcome you all to this project management workshop. Good evening to my friends in Singapore and India. Good afternoon to the people in UK as such, and good morning to my friends in US. And that's the place people have come together here. Thank you very much for enrolling this workshop and coming over here, joining in time. And I hope you will get from this workshop for which you have joined. This workshop will run for a full month, starting today and ending on 3rd of April. It's a mix of theory, practice, and discussion and case studies. My focus here will be to explain you the project management's concepts in simple terms. Our base will be PMBOK 5th edition, Project Management Body of Knowledge 5th edition, which is the recent one. We'll go through all the chapters and understand what is documented and referenced in PMBOK. You would have already gone through the program schedule. We have 2-hour session on every Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The session will be focused on chapters in PMBOK. We will give you access to our virtual learning center where you will find quizzes based on these chapters. The quizzes will be enabled based on chapters covered in interactive sessions on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. For example, today, tomorrow and day after, we will cover project management framework and project integration management. And therefore, quizzes for project management framework and integration management will be enabled for you to attempt from Monday to Thursday. You can attempt these quizzes anytime at your convenience. You can access the virtual learning center on your mobile or tablet. Every chapter has around 30 questions. You attempt the quizzes and submit them. Means take up one quiz, give the answers of all the questions and submit it. When you submit the quiz, you can see answers and verify your responses. We expect you to honestly take the quiz, verify your answers and note down your challenges. I've allocated 1 hour for this complete exercise, that is attempting, submitting it, looking at seeing the answers and then seeing that where the challenge is, where the answers are not correct or where you are not sure about the answers. Now, though we have allocated 1 hour for that, but there is no timer set in quiz. You can take as much time as you want. But when you come next time, the next week on Friday, please discuss your challenges. I have kept first 1 hour on every Friday to discuss these challenges or discuss your doubts about these when you have these questions. I believe this model will not only help you understand project management concept, will also prepare you for PMP certification. At least up to certain greater extent, I will say, not certain extent. Now let me lay down some ground rules which will help all of us to have better experience and make this workshop interactive and interesting. By default, as all the participants were muted, but now I have unmute you all. As I already requested you, please keep yourself muted until you have to speak. If I found that somebody is not muted and some noise is coming, I'm going to mute from my side. Okay, you hear some noise? That's exactly what I am requesting here. Sarah, can you mute yourself? Sometimes we don't realize that we are unmuted actually. So I will point it out, but if I see there is no response, I'm going to mute from my side. Okay. When you have a question and something is in progress and you think that you should not disturb this flow, there is a chat box on the right hand side, you will see, where we are just exchanging some words. You can write down your question in that. And please ensure that your question goes to everyone, so that I need not to repeat the question. So write down your question whenever it comes to your mind, irrespective of something is going on or not, and I will pause time to time. We'll see that if there is a question, I will take up and will respond to that. As everybody is marked on that question, so it will be easier for everyone to understand it. Now, there is a fair possibility that you may get disconnected sometime. Okay, but do not worry much. Just join again using the same link. Please use the same email ID and signature of your name to log in every time, whenever you log in to the workshop. It will help us to accumulate your hours properly. Do not change your email ID or name as such. Now, there is also a fair possibility that I can get disconnected. I'm just like another person being a speaker, but Sudha, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, just do one thing. You just mute yourself, and when you have to speak, you can unmute. Okay, so there is a fair possibility that I also get disconnected. In such cases, just hold on and wait. I will definitely log in again. Now, we have provided you the handouts. I hope everyone has downloaded that. I will just show you that how you can make comments and make your notes in the handout itself. Okay, so this is, let me go to some slide where I can type something. Okay. So these are the slides which I'm going to present you during the workshop. So you can go to the relevant slide and can mark your comments. So you put this comment is here, just click on it. A section will open for you to edit it. You want to highlight some text, go here, click on this and say highlight this text. Right? You want to type something, you can write, you want to write something, you can click on this T, come over here or wherever you want in the page, and this is a sample comment. Okay, you can type. You can change the font also. As such, I don't think it will be required, but you can change the color as such. Color you can change from here. you want to type a reminder, something of something related to some text on the slide, you can put a note here. Okay, maybe you can adjust this place, type it here. Right, so whenever you go here, you will see the command. Okay, there are various things are available here. You can strike out something. Okay, you can highlight a text and put a comment on it. So I say this is, and type the comment. Okay, it is 5th edition. Right, so whenever you go, you will see the comment. You can make some pictures, etc., or whatever your modification you have done. You can wrap that. Okay, so there are various options available. I think only few may be required for you to make your notes in the handouts. You can save it also. You can press this. It will ask for a file name. You can keep the same file name and save it. So that when you open, so you need not to have a separate copy or pen. You can have it. Nobody stopping you to do that, but there is a facility that you can keep all your comments here in one file and you can refer this later. Okay. Okay. Now I will say, because people have joined from very like a wide spectrum, especially on time side, I think the time could be little critical. Some people have very early morning, some people have very late evening, and some people are in the midday as such. I can understand that people are in midday could be little challenging, especially on the working day. So I have some little suggestion for such people, especially in people in UK, that you consider this, because it is a 2 hour, you consider this as a 2 hour meeting, not any stakeholder in your organization, but a stakeholder outside. Maybe it is a good idea that you can discuss with your manager or other people and let them know that for 2 hours you will not be available on Friday. Okay, so in my opinion, that will be a little better situation, and instead of struggling to join here and then trying to meet two ends, which may not like normally does not succeed as such. So my idea is, or anything you have in your mind which you want to discuss with me, I will be happy to do that. Happy to discuss with you and see if I can do something for you. Okay. Though everybody is know about that what is the timings, but for the understanding of the complete all the people, let me put this timing on the board. Okay, let's just look at this. See, the 7 p.m. in India actually is going to 9:30 for Singapore, and which means 11:30 will be ending. In London, it is absolutely midday, that 1:30 to 3:30, and because of the daylight saving, which I also come to know some time back only. I was not aware about this. I was aware, but I didn't bother about it because it doesn't come in India as such. So after 9th, just after like today and after tomorrow, the third day, it will be a time change in UK and US. So in New York, it will be 9:30 to 11:30, from 8:30 to 10:30, and then I think Washington, it will be like from 6:30 to 8:30. Currently, it is 5:30 to 7:30. So just for the understanding of the other people, everybody know his own time, but let other people also know of the time of the other people. So sometimes it could be challenging to meet the time. So what my request is, let's stick to the time so that it is easier for everyone to manage it well. I believe the Saturday, Sunday will not be that big a problem. Only the Friday we need to be a little more cautious as such.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay, yes, Sudha, yes. You're not able to hear me. Okay. I just put on my mute, so I think you may not be hearing me. Okay, let me repeat this again. Okay, so please mute yourself. I will keep myself unmuted. Okay. So what I was saying, that let's make this workshop interactive. I'm not sure if the schedule I pasted, but I didn't speak. I was speaking about it. You will not be able to hear me. So let me repeat this. I put this schedule to let everybody know that what is the timings of other, so that we stick to the time, so that people can manage it well. Okay, so let's start and make this workshop interactive, discussion oriented. I request you to please share your views, opinion, respond to questions, exercise, ask questions, clarify all the doubts, and bring out your experience here wherever you think there is something which is matching there, or something which is not matching there as such. Okay, more we relate this knowledge with our experience, more we learn, more we discuss, more we learn as such. So to start with, let's have a round of introductions so that we know who all are there in this room, or this virtual room. What are their experience, what is their background, where we stand as this room, how much experience is there, what are the expectations of different people, and how are we going to meet them, and if we are not able to meet them, let's be clear that what expectation this workshop will not be able to meet. Okay, so to keep it short, the introduction part, I will suggest you to speak out your name, your organization, the role you are playing, your total years of experience, and your experience in project management. Okay. Lastly, I will say you please speak out your primary 1 or 2 expectations from this workshop. What is your primary objective to join here? What is driving you here and to join this workshop? Okay, or anything else you find appropriate to share here, please feel free, but let's keep it little short so that we continue focusing on our contents. And let me do one thing. Let me put up this thing on the board so that you need not to remember what you have to speak out. Not necessarily you have to speak only these things, just a guideline as such. Okay, so if it remain in front of you, it will be easy to speak about yourself. Okay, so let's start from the top. I think is normally sorted by the number alphabetical. It is an alphabetical order. So let's start from Ashwini.
Yeah, hi Vivek. I'm Ashwini. Hi everyone. I'm Ashwini Duvuri. I'm currently working with Infosys, Hyderabad. Currently the role that I'm playing is technical test lead. My total years of experience is 8 years in IT, 1 year in non-IT. And I just have project lead experience. I don't have any project management experience as such. So I wanted to start my project management career by clearing PMP. So what I expect from pmwares is make me well acquainted with all the project management concepts, and apart from that I want to clear PMP exam. That's it. Thank you.
Sure, thanks Ashwini. And because you come from Infosys, I believe that you are doing the software projects, and you will be having some kind of project management experience, right?
Not directly, but yes, indirectly helping a project manager.
Okay, so can you give a little idea where you are involved in this in the project management of your projects?
Okay,
yeah.
So firstly, the estimations part. Second is assessing risks in the project are the crucial areas where I was involved until now.
Okay. So these are really crucial areas. In fact, they are most uncertain areas where you are involved. So it's good.
Yeah. So if you ask me project management experience, yes, I have experience in FPA estimation, few other estimation systems, and risk-based analysis, risk profiling of my project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Ashwini. Let's move to Deepak, but Deepak is looking offline. maybe is for time being he's out. So let's go to Rishikesh. Rishikesh, can you speak out, please? Yes.
Hi, Vivek. I'm Rishikesh Deshmukh. I'm in Doctor. I'm able to hear me?
Yeah, your voice is not so clear actually.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, it is much better.
Okay. So, my name is Rishikesh Deshmukh. I'm in Boston, USA. I'm with Tech Mahindra. My role is a technical manager here, but I also have experience of in project management. My total year of experience is of around 15 years. Last 6 years I'm totally into management, technical management as well as project management. Project management experience is different, like it is harder with around 1 year and more into technical management, leading team in technical management. My expectations from these workshops, I want to appeal for PhD now. It's a long time ago. For 4 years I was planning, but I did not get time to attend any training program for PhD. So this program I found suitable for my timings. It is early in the morning and I can attend it easily, and then it's easier for me to attend from home. I like said earlier, I want to lot of scenarios of management. So theoretically, I want to go through all these things and then I want
Okay.
And if you ask about challenges, lot of challenges managers have, but like here I've seen in project management I've seen things like there are some projects in which teams are not reporting to you, but you have to coordinate with multiple teams and deliver the results. That is one kind of scenario. And in other scenario, when teams are reporting to you and then you have to manage teams and then you have to guide them in various areas, you have to resolve their conflicts, you have to deal with customer expectations, and to deal with customer expectations. So there, I think all these skills will further. Whatever I have learned practically, maybe the theoretical things will do some more better direction, and I'll be in a better position to understand that.
If I say that you faced challenges on the stakeholder management side.
I won't say it is not like really challenging, but then initially because when these areas come suddenly, it is new thing. This like theoretically now these things are here. One thing is like first you are fully trained on this, you talk to this, of small duration work on it. That is one thing, but it did not happen in IT.
Okay.
So you have to face it when like it comes directly to you. So
Okay.
I think whatever I learned, maybe these things will give me maybe I think it will give me new vision. I'll get more better conceptual understanding of this. So whatever I have right now, I will be able to put it in a better way further. This is the things.
Sure. Absolutely. I think we'll cover the lot of conceptual part and as well as the PMP portion. The PMP portion is actually work as a base, but we discuss a lot of project management related issues and the problems which normally we face time to time. Thanks, Rishikesh. And let me go back to Deepak. He's appearing online now. Hi, Deepak. Can you speak?
Yeah, Vivek. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, very loud and clear.
Okay. So I'm located in Boston, India, in US. I'm currently working with KPA. My role is test manager. My total experience is about 15 years. In last 7-8 years, I'm playing the role of test manager, senior test manager. So formally, I'm not a project manager, but you know, when you're working as a test manager or quality assurance manager, you are using the principles of project management that helps you in the test management areas as well. So that's my exposure to project management. My expectations from this workshop that it will provide us a platform to share our experiences from the real world that will enrich our experiences, and B, definitely it will bring me more closer to the formal understanding, theoretical concepts, and best practices of the project management. So these are the two expectations from this course. The kind of projects what I do, as I talked earlier, that I am a test manager. So basically I lead the independent testing projects. The typical challenges are challenges related to the testing project. It's very hard to manage the stakeholder expectations for the testing projects, because you know, most of the times you have this kind of challenging expectations from the testing team that they have to do a lot of testing within a very limited time. Testing teams need to have a good understanding of the business as well as technical aspects. So stakeholder expectation management is one thing, and B, proving the value of testing, because still there is a kind of perception in the industry that anybody can do the testing. So it is very hard for a test lead or test manager to prove that what value test team is bringing to the table. So these are the couple of challenges that I typically face as a test manager.
I agree with you that people, some or many places, the people have the perception that testing is an easy task to do, and many times the people involved in testing do not get that kind of respect that they actually deserve, and that's a little. I think the industry has to little mature on that side.
Right.
So I agree, and you say that test managers' work is more challenging. I think that everywhere the work is challenging. Only thing is that the grass on the other side is more greener. Actually, it's more green.
I totally agree, but I need to be inclined towards my profession.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of soft corners for the testing professional, so I cannot change that.
Yeah, absolutely. You keep it that. I'm just sharing that it always looks like that project managers say that test manager's work is good or easier, or test managers think that project manager's job is easier.
Here you go, yeah.
Actually, the project management principles are, when you become manager, the project management principles are not very different than a general manager normally require.
Right.
And
Right,
if
right.
you have a tag of manager, either test or project, your work is more or less same. That when we go into the depth of this subject, we'll see that you need to define a scope irrespective of you are
Absolutely.
a project manager or test manager. You have
Absolutely.
to manage your stakeholders, either you are project manager or test manager. You need to guide your team, you need to manage your seniors, and you need to plan, you need to execute, maintain discipline. These are the fundamental things of the project management which are required everywhere as such. In that reference, we normally say project management is not a manager skill, it's a life skill actually. You can apply this in your life as well, because project is a very simple thing. You have a objective and you want to achieve this objective within a certain time. If these two criteria meet, everything is project. wherever this criteria is meeting. You can apply all project management skills there, even in your real life or in personal life, I will say. Thanks, Deepak. Let's move to Kishore.
Hi everyone, hope all of you can hear me.
Yes, very much.
Yes, and my name is Kishore Vasavatula, and I'm joining this session from Singapore. And currently I work for Cargill Asia Pacific, which is a food major. And my role in this organization is a manager. I'm leading some of the SAP implementations happening across the organization. And my total experience is of 11 years, and I'm doing project management from the last 5 or 6 years. And coming towards the expectations, I want to be certified. I'm postponing that certification from past 11 months or so. So I thought I need a pack from Vivek so that I can push it to clear out that PMP certification.
And you have promised that you will not postpone anymore.
Yes, Vivek.
Okay.
And the kind of projects which I do currently in this role is, as I mentioned, implementation projects for SAP and some other ERP rollouts, majorly inclined towards the human resource side. So it's like major HR projects happening in this organization. And challenges, as some of you have already mentioned, like stakeholder management is one critical part, and the other thing is cost management as well. So when the project scale increases, then all the cost and scope creep, everything enters into the project. So these two are the critical challenges which I find across my role in this organization.
Yeah, the scope is a fixed issue with all the software projects as such. Scope
Yes.
is and requirements gathering and meeting those and getting the sign off on that, and then keeping them like
Within the budget.
not changing those requirements, managing those unnecessary changes in the requirement is real challenge.
Yes, Vivek.
Okay, thanks, Kishore. So you will pass the PMP exam in next 2-3 months, right? Next.
Yeah, I'm hoping to
keen to hear. Yes.
It.
Okay, let us go to Rajesh.
Hi Vivek.
Yeah, hi Rajesh.
Hi everyone. Alright, I am Rajesh K. Basically, I'm logging in from the Bangalore. I work for Delphi, and my role is currently working in the capacity of advanced technical lead. I have a total experience of around 13 years working in the software industry. And basically, if I would like to talk about my project management experience, I would say, like, as part of my day-to-day activity, I would spend around 40% of my time on not exactly core project management, but still some part of project planning, project schedule tracking, and the quality risk and things like that. And my primary expectation is, like, basically what I would like to get from this session is or from this course of project management is, like, I need to know the core concepts of project management, the kind of attribute that is required to execute a particular project, and more on top of it is, like, a formal way of executing a project in terms of applying all the techniques that is required for a particular project to be successfully completed, executed. And as I said, like I work on developing applications for web, mobile, and Windows-based, Windows-based software for automobile industry. And talking about the challenges, yes, there's a lot of challenges. Every day we have a challenge when we go to office. And apart from that, if we talk about the project management challenges, definitely yes. There's always a time between the time management and the expectation of the customer. Like the customer would expect software to be delivered yesterday, and we are trying to start the work sometime today. So it's in the meantime you have a tough time managing with the resources as well, like trying to bring them up to speed and get the things working as expected. So it's basically full of challenges as part of day-to-day activity. So I would like to know the formal way of understanding the basics of the project, the core concept that is required to be applied for a project, and get that to a successful state.
Yeah, definitely, and how to beat these challenges as such. And he's truly said actually your challenge in Bangalore starts as soon as you start from your home. Reaching to home is also a challenge in Bangalore. Oh, so reaching to office
Yeah,
also a
that's true.
challenge.
Right.
Okay, great.
I mean,
Definitely.
traffic is another challenge.
Yeah. Bangalore is. So your challenge is more than project management as such. So I think some project management can be applied on traffic as well. So we have created this virtual workshop which will help you to not to navigate through the traffic and reach to some classroom.
Yeah, true, very true.
Right? Okay. Thanks, Rajesh. So let's move to Sai Mohan.
Hi everyone, hope you're all good and I'm audible too.
Yes, you are well audible. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. So my name is Sai Mohan and I'm based out of New Jersey. I'm an independent consultant and I work on SAN, basically, which is known as Storage Area Network. I do have almost 20 years of experience, and 17 is with information technology and other 3 is with the mechanical field which I was in. And my role is kind of architect. I design, architect, and implement migration projects for various clients across the United States. I don't have much experience in project management, even though I independently handle a lot of projects myself. And my primary expectation from this workshop is to understand and fill in the gaps. Obviously you guys know that when you are into massive projects, where my role comes from right after the sales, and I'll be in the full cycle till the handout is being done. So I feel sometimes I feel there are some gaps which I need to know during the full cycle. So that's one, and the last part is like the challenges. The challenges for me is like to convince the project managers or the technical managers, which is a very hard thing as far as I'm concerned, or I think as far as the ground realities are concerned and the timelines. And as you know, there are a lot of the challenges, unexpected things comes up in projects. So that's the challenges I face across my projects. So I'm here to get educated on the management side and possibly get certified at the earliest. Right now I'm in between projects. I just got out of a project. Unfortunately, I had to quit that project due to some personal reason, So I think I have ample time to devote myself and get certified on PMP. And I would like to be a technical guy, I said, but the certification will definitely add as a feather in my cap. Thanks. That's all.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think you will get something from here that how project managers normally work. But let me tell you, whatever you're going to learn here, that's a much better way of working as a PM. But normally PMs do not work like that. Okay, so but you will get some help how to convince the PM actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and some definitely we're going to talk a lot about the concept things. And as I said, the project management is basically a life skills. Once you have something in your hand, and besides either you are technical, non-technical business person, you may be using these skills anyway. Here they will get polished, and
Yes.
And I'm sure that this journey to PMP will help you to deal better with the stakeholders around, which includes PM and their managers, and definitely you will be you're so experienced and building architecture. You must be talking to more managers than actually technical people.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So I think definitely it will give you some insights about that how better you can manage the manager actually.
In fact, tackle them.
Right. Yeah. So I hope that this will be useful in that manner as such. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So let's go to Umakant.
Hi, Vivek. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Sorry,
Hi.
my phone was on mute. Yeah, my name is Sitaram Umakant. Quite a long name. You can call in short Uma or Umakant.
Okay.
I work in Birmingham, UK. I work for a small, a pharmaceutical distribution company, and one of the IT companies that they own. My role basically is to act as a business analyst for the internal client requirements, and also act as a project coordinator to look after the development aspects that we take up. In total, I have 6 years of IT experience, 6+ years you can say, and 3 years since I started this company. My role was like this. So I don't put myself into a complete project manager, but I do certain aspects of the project management, like requirement gathering and keeping on the top of the development, monitoring the timelines. And coming to the expectations from this workshop, and I know it would be a wishful thinking asking Vivek to make me a complete project manager by the end of this workshop, but I would expect a comprehensive guidance that would help me to clear the certification. And then going forward, I'm looking forward to look for some opportunities back home by having this PMP certification added on to my experience. Coming to the challenges, I feel that I'm involved in the project management aspects, but I don't have the complete confidence that I'm doing the things right. Maybe because I don't know the tools and techniques, or not able to put those things in place. Yeah. And the specific aspects would be the schedule management in such, and getting the work done from the teams.
Makant, you are doing project management. Maybe
That's it,
yeah, you're doing project management. In fact, almost full-fledged you are doing. The only thing is that you are not called as project manager. So in fact, designation does not matter as such altogether. Who own the things become project manager automatically, irrespective of his designation. And definitely, I'm sure that in this workshop, your project management concepts will definitely get better, and it will definitely help you. That's the basic objective of this workshop. And right now people come, they want to pass PMP. So I say, you want to pass PMP or you want to become a good project manager also. So yeah, Mukan.
Yeah, go on, sorry, Vivek.
Yeah, so normally, so they are more focused on project on PMP. That if they get a PMP tag on their resume, it becomes easily like selectable in the for the project managers. So I normally explain to these things to such inquiries like that, that there are two things. One is getting selected for the interview, and then passing the interview. So I normally ask that, do you want to get selected in the interview or you want to pass the interview also? Because if you have PMP, you will get selected for for the interview because you may come in the filter. But PMP will not help you pass the exam, pass the interview. That your skills will actually help, because then when the person will take the interview, he want to see that this person has the maturity to handle my projects or not. So both things are equally important, that the people should focus on the concepts. And in my opinion is that if your concepts are clear, if you are got into the depth of the project management ideology, the way it's supposed to be done, and the basic concepts are clear, fundamentals are clear, then PMP is not is a tough exam as such after that. So it becomes tougher if the people remain shallow in the knowledge of project management, and then the situational question will definitely pose a lot of issues. Even if you do thousands of questions, you can pass PMP as such, but that will only give you a tag of PMP, will help become a good manager as such. So yeah, definitely your things will get addressed here, and let's see. We move. Let's move to the next one, Shrikant.
Yeah, hi everybody. Shrikant here, and I'm based in Pune, and I'm working for iGate. I'm in SAP, started as an SAP consultant in the CRM area, moved on to project management. I'm handling I'm in project management for the last 6 years. And my total experience as a IT SAP consultant is about 8 years. And before that, for 12 years, I have done sales and then moved on. Sales, I've been in various roles, tried my hand on everything, had my own business, had done farming and done dairy farming, and then moved on to IT. For the last 8 years, I'm in IT sector. And I'm already PMP certified, but I just thought of, when I had completed my course, it took almost 2 years for me to pass the exam. But I've been applying these principles for the last 6 years, and I feel that, my major expectation from this would be, one, to ensure that I get again abreast with all the principles. Just look at how I am doing compared to the theory, and do I need to change myself. And definitely there's something more to learn, because when I had initially done this course, probably I was not a practicing manager in the real sense. And now, since I have been practicing, I can look back and see, okay, am I missing something? And of course, the challenges, I would say, the most important thing which I have been doing and following and trying to meet is, the documentation part. Whenever we have a clear communication and documentation, I have seen that we are able to convince any client to any extent. And this has been proved again and again in my last 6 years of project management, where I have been very, very insistent and been strict on documentation with my team members. And there comes a time, probably 8 months, 6 months down the line in that project, when suddenly someone comes up and asks certain things and raises a question as to how the project is being managed or whether certain thing is done properly or not, and you have the complete documentation, and that's it. That's the end of that question, and no one comes back and asks you since you are clear on everything. I think that is one thing which has helped me from PMP. And I think the another challenge is, of course, there are so many principles, areas we talk about: scope, time, cost, quality, but you really make your ends meet to fulfill all the requirements as per PMP definition, and you really stretch yourself, and you feel that am I really I've learned PMP, but am I really applying it, or am I applying only 10%, 20% of what I'm supposed to do? There's always a question mark which comes to your mind. So I think it is just a matter of applying a certain area more, applying a certain area less, but to ensure that the project needs are fulfilled and the organization goals are fulfilled and the client's expectations are met. I think these are the three challenges which we really meet at every stage, and we just have to press a button more or press a button less and to ensure that everything is met. That's the challenge I feel I've been facing.
Very well, very well. I think Shrikant, you have told a couple of things very important. Your expectation of getting refreshed on the PMP stuff definitely will happen anyway. But I think the point you have brought out is about the documentation. That if the documentation there, it becomes so easy to convince the client because you need not to explain it all. In fact, what the documentation is you're saying, it's not documentation actually, it's a data collection. It's a data which you have collected and kept with you, and data is actually talk about the facts. The facts on the ground you are recording actually those facts. And I will say this is not documentation. It's a that as you move ahead, you record your the footsteps actually. Right. And because those are so clear in front of the person, there is no point the person can ask any question after that. The things are loud and clear in front of everyone that how things are. In fact, most of the places the people are getting into the discussion and arguments with the customers or the other stakeholders. Most of the places the stakeholder challenge is because of the absence of data. If we have the data, if we have the facts in place and we just present the facts to the stakeholders, any stakeholders, the argument level come down to almost zero actually. There is no as such arguments required, and there is no hard question which will come. True. So you have brought a very valid point. In my view, this is a very critical in managing the stakeholders, and most of the people face the stakeholder management and the challenges on the stakeholder management. And this is real key actually.
In fact, Vivek, whenever I was handling some Indian projects, the company Aditya Birla's project, and we used to have so many tips, but every time we had maintained data of every issue resolved after the go live. And another thing is, after maintaining the data, we were sending the data every day, the list to the client,
the client,
what is the status of each and everything,
keeping them updated on the things happening.
Right, and after a month and a half, the client came and said that no, everything is not okay. So when we presented the complete data, the client had absolutely nothing to say, because sometimes these are negotiation tactics to ensure that they don't pay us the money. Yeah. So when we had all the data, they just backed off, and I think, and we also had proof that we had sent the issue list every day with every status updated. Right. So, and in fact, I had one person, a trainee who was working, and I had told him that your duty is.
Shrikant, I can come back to you because we have a lot of things to discuss actually, and we have several opportunities to share like success stories and the failure stories in this workshop. We have almost 35 hours left on this. So I will little hold on you, and I would like to move on to the two people, two women who are left as such, and then we will go, and we will have several opportunities to share these experiences. And I would like to such experience are shared so that people learn that this is how things happen, and everybody has something to say actually which other people can learn, and that's what the success basically lies in that as such, or this workshop will succeed in that way more effectively as such. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Shrikant. Let's move to Sudha.
Hi, Vivek.
Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please. We are able to hear you very clear.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Sudha. I'm calling from London. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Okay. I'm working for Perception, and though I don't have much experience in project management, I'm working as a front office manager, and I have got almost 8 years of experience in hospitality industry. And my dual objectives are, one thing that I would like to add onto my CV, I want to take PMP examination. And second thing, I would like to develop myself as a project consultant, and especially in the hospitality sector. And Vivek, I have one small query to you at this stage. Should I take the Prince 2 examination or the PMP examination? How are they different from each other?
I will address this, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And we look forward to have more information on this. Thanks.
Yeah, and I would just like to hear one challenge you are facing in hospitality industry.
Yeah.
What kind of challenges are there? So if you can tell one challenge, it will be sufficient.
Pardon?
If you can talk about one challenge you are facing in...
Basically the customer satisfaction and cutthroat competition in the sector.
Okay.
Two challenges. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Sudha. I will come little later on that question, that what is the difference in PMP and Prince 2, and who should take what actually.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's move to, thank you, Sudha. Let's move to Jaira.
Hello all, can you hear me?
Yes, very much, Jaira. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Zehra Limon, and I am in New Jersey. And currently, as an organization, after economic downturn in 2010, I was unemployed, and I seized the time opportunity, and I started my own small business. Prior to that, I am a aerospace electronics industry procurement and sales veteran, I would call it. And while doing my own business, supporting an international airline on their procurements and logistics here in US, I am supporting them domestically here. And also I looked for more opportunities for pursuing, and I have done project management in the procurement side for an IT organization for HCL Technologies. I was placed in a 44 data center site location project, and that was ended early in 2013. And I was challenged with the project in a good way, that while I am looking for a full-time or future consultant roles, I want to understand more of the project management technicality and how the inner dimensions, how are the project regular company functional business versus jumping over to project-based operations, and I want to understand them better, and then hopefully going forward perhaps seek more opportunities in IT hardware procurement, project management, or business project manager. And after this course, hopefully before the end of the summer, I would like to pursue the license exam. This would be on my side.
Thanks, Jera, and definitely I wish you all the best, and I hope you will go for this. Are you looking for PMP exam as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. My goal is to take the exam.
Okay. So I think Jera, one thing is there that you have a lot of experience in procurement, right?
Correct. Many years.
And in procurement, the stakeholder number of stakeholders are very high actually. The number of stakeholders. So how do you manage them?
The rule is simple actually. Getting along with everybody and identifying the stakeholders at the early stages of the project, and then addressing their needs and expectations, and being good basically. That's it. It's everywhere relationship.
Okay. So are you saying being a good human being actually help managing the stakeholders?
Along with the technical skills, they have to support each other hand by hand. Yes.
Okay. Yes. And what is the challenge you face there?
Usually identifying the needs early, where time-wise it challenges. Like when you learn things at the last minute, you wanna make things happen very quickly, especially when it comes to equipment, providing the equipment to the right place at the right time and the right price, making putting all of them together and making it happen. It is challenging. So early on, addressing the needs, the engineering side, architectural side, from the customer side, what they need exactly, addressing those early on the project. And then when you start the implementation side, the procurement department works in their own work to present those, bring those to the facility, to the implementation area on time. It's a non-stop work, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks silent, but it is not.
Right.
When the front procurement department looks silent or unrecognized, or at times, but it's not quite that way. Contracts and all that stuff takes a lot of time, legality of it.
I see it's a very critical department because the one is there lot of legalities involved in that, and anything you want outside the organization, you have to go through that department.
Yes, I mean exactly. On the procurement, the finance, legality, insurance, contracts, and getting the information of the larger stakeholders. And making it happen, it's quite complicated and challenging.
Right. Thanks, Jera. Thank you very much, and thanks to all for introducing yourself. And let me close this loop with my introduction. My name is Vivek, and I have more than 20 years of experience, mainly in IT industry, and almost for last 10-12 years. I am very closely associated with Project Management Institute, doing several things. Basically, project management is you can say my hobby as such. And about more than 10 years ago, when I started working with Mumbai chapter of Project Management, PMI, and the one thing which I did, which I found like I can say it was most successful, even today it is successful. I created a club called PMP Club. It was part of the Mumbai chapter, and it was a struggle to create this club, because initially there was no vibrations all around, and for like almost 6-7 years, hardly anybody actually turning up to these club meetings, which we are doing on Sunday morning. Somebody suggested that nobody will come on Sunday morning. Why don't you do it on Saturday or Friday? So we tried out everything. Come back to again on Sunday morning, because none of the things were working. But soon after this lull period, the people started turning up, and this I handled that thing for about more than 3 years, and in 3 years you will see that more than 50-60 people were attending these meetings regularly. Today, almost after say 7-8 years, this event is happening 4 places in Mumbai. One core Mumbai, then one is in New Mumbai, and then one is in Thane, one is in Ahmedabad also. And if you club all together, the gathering happening there, it will cross 150 people. That was one of the successful things which I did. I participated in several organizing several conferences on project management. I did a lot of voluntary work for PMI. PMI is basically a voluntary work. They need volunteers all the time, and I like that because it gives a lot of satisfaction to me. And the recent work which I did is led a project for PMI India to translate PMBOK into Hindi. That was my latest big effort for the PMI. And currently I write to PMI blog, the global blog, especially on the talent gap. So on the PMI, it is Voice of Project Management is their blog. If you search for that, you can find some of the postings there. And so last year I started this, and I am continuing this effort even today. So the project management which is my hobby, and that's how I got into this profession, working for several years for software companies and then delivering the software. And then I left the delivery portion, started mentoring people, coaching people, and then training people on the project management, helping them. So as of today, as part of pmwares, the 2 things which I majorly do is I train people on project management, building the capability, and then on a consulting part, I help them to implement those things in their projects, because that is more challenging. In training, people come, they learn, but a very low percentage of people are able to implement this. And normally I go and tell in the training program that you go back and implement those things. If you have a challenge, come back to me. I will help you out. And some of the organization, I regularly go and help project managers to implement those practices. Many people think that PMBOK is a project management theory. I want to tell you that PMBOK is not something written by XYZ person telling that how the project management should happen. Actually, PMBOK is a collection of best practices. That means these things are happening somewhere in the world already, and they have been proven, they have given results actually. And that has been consolidated in PMBOK. So if you say that it is an ideal way of doing the project management, could be. If you do, could be possible, because it is a collection of best practices. So if you implement all these processes, your project will become really unique. So it may not be possible, but definitely everything which is written there is implementable, because it is implemented somewhere and has given proven results. So when you're going through this, don't think that this is just a theory, you will read it, but practice is something different. No, somebody has practiced this already. If you practice, you may face some challenges on the ground. Like when you prepare a plan and when you execute that plan, there are challenges in executing that plan. the execution rarely go as per the plan, and that's why the project manager is required. If execution goes exactly as per the plan, then as a project management will lose his context in the whole project, and there is no value of the project management. So basically, project manager's job is to manage the uncertainty which is inherent in the system. So better planning we do, better execution we do, better and predictable results we will bring out. So basically, what project management in a nutshell, if you ask me to what is a project management as such, I will say project management that you do more predictable work. That means you give less surprises to the people around. That means when things are going from one hand to another hand, you do this thing in such an integrated manner that every hand give a predictable result to the next hand. And more this thing will happen, better execution of the project will happen. So if A give his deliverable to the B to further processes, let B, whatever expectations set for B, let B get that. And if the expectations, if the things are different, then that has to be known to B before he gets that. And that's what the real project management is. And these all processes which are defined in PMBOK or in other standards. Actually, knowledge of project management is not different, whatever standard you take. There are various standards, though PMI is most popular, but if you take any standard, the knowledge of the project manager is not different, only they are structured differently. So you read any of the standard, ultimately it will boil down to have an objective, plan it better, execute it, close it properly, so that you have lesson learned with you, you do the next project better. Okay, so I'm going to move ahead from here to the presentation, to the first project management framework. If you have questioned anything so far, please let me know. I will address this before I move to the project management framework.
I think we can move ahead.
Hello?
I think you can move ahead. I think
okay.
Question from
Okay, Umakant, you have to say something?
It's fine, Vivek. You can go on.
Okay, so just mute yourself then. Okay, so let's move on this. This schedule you have already seen. Just to this is like distributed to everyone. Every week we have three sessions on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we will cover some subjects, some topics of the PMBOK in that. And then during this weekdays, you have the access to the online virtual learning center where you can go and attempt questions. Before you come back to the next session, please make sure you have attempted all the questions. Moreover, I will suggest do this as soon as possible. Okay, and note down your challenges, note down the doubts, note down the challenges, note down the things which you couldn't understand, or you think that something is wrong or something is, you have a difference of opinion. Note down those things so that we can discuss this in the next session. I will mainly go with this, like my strategy to discuss these questions are like that. What questions you will do is that what are the questions people have attempted incorrectly. I may not be able to understand you were doubtful or not, but I will go with the things that were you able to attempt these questions correctly or not. If I see that any of the question is attempted by the one or more people have attempted incorrectly, I'm going to take up this in the discussion and will try to explain that why this answer is. Okay, so if you have something else to say, something other, you have some other doubts, some other things, please bring them up into the discussion. Okay, this is my strategy to discuss, to clarify doubts, to discuss those things where there is a doubt or where there is a unclear things when you are attempting the questions. During the sessions, wherever you think something is not clear, please interrupt me, or you type down your question or your viewpoint or something in the chat box so that I can pick up that, or you can feel free to interrupt me if you think that some questions you have, and if you do not want to interrupt me, you can write down in the chat box. My agenda is not to 100% cover this all slides. My agenda is to make you understand project management. There are more important things in these presentations. There are less important things. Okay. Discussion is more important than covering everything, more important to less important. If discussions take more time, I will prefer to sacrifice the less important things which do not make much difference, because the discussion will bring more learning and more understanding to the people. Less important things may not be bring any kind of much difference as such. So my focus is that things should be understood by you, and we have more discussions here. We clarified all the doubts, and if this gives challenges on the PPT side, that what PPT, some slides has to be skipped, I will be happy to skip those slides which are not so important or will not make much significant difference. Okay, today, tomorrow, and day after, we're going to, I think first session we have already done. We're going to cover up the project management framework, the processes. We take an overview of the PMP exam, what this exam is all about, what is expected, what are the tips and techniques, what is PMI, how to take up this exam, anything related to that. If you have any question on that, I will also take up those things. We also cover up the integration part, and then over the week I will leave you on the question and answer. On 14, 15 and 16 we will cover up the core part we normally say of the project management, that is the triple constraint, the scope, time and cost. Sometimes time management is a little longer and become a little exhaustive as such. Okay, on 21st, 22nd and 23rd we will take up on quality, human resource and risk management, and on 28th, 29th, 30th we will cover up communication, procurement and stakeholders, and spend little time on professional and social responsibility, because these questions also come, though they are not separately counted as such. Okay, we'll start from the project management and concepts and the project life cycle. So in the first phase we will cover up some I will say ecosystem of the project management, or things which are related to the project management, which we often refer and understand their definitions. So what is project and project management? As I explained earlier, that if you have an objective and you want to achieve this objective within a timeline, within a limited time, then it becomes a project, and that's the project definition is. So project definition is simple, that you should have something to achieve. There should be some objective, there should be something to achieve, and you have a limited timeline. That is a definite begin and definite end. So because it's a definite begin and definite end, it becomes temporary. So temporary is a fundamental characteristic of the project. So temporary, we need to understand that temporary does not mean that it is a short in duration, but temporary means it will end someday. It's not an ongoing process. what could be your objective? It could be a product, it could be a service, it could be a result, some results. So if you are producing some product, it could be a product. If you are servicing some people, the delivery of the service could be your achievement. And if you are results, maybe if you are doing some research, the outcome of that research could be a result. If you are doing a survey, and the outcome of the survey is a result. So those things are also effort and come under projects, because you have, like, you do a survey, you have to get some results out of it, of that survey. There is a specific objective, and surveys are normally short term as such. So they are basically all the project management principles work there. The outcome may be tangible or not intangible. Now the second thing which comes into picture is the project management. This slide says why the project normally get created. I will talk about it a little later. What is project management? So there's some definition given here, and because the whole these 35 hours remaining will go into discussing project management, various aspects of project management. We should understand its common understanding of project management. See, there is a definition, but there is a common understanding. There is something we do not go into definition and say, okay, this is project management. So I want to hear from you. What do you think a project management is? And in a project, what is project management? What is not a project management also? Anyone want to share his views on what is project management?
Project management, I would see is an endeavor that you take in order to finish the specific objective, taking all the constraints like the time, the costs, and the human resources and everything into consideration. So it basically, as you were mentioning, executing the task according to the plan.
But planning is not project management?
Yeah, it also includes that.
Yeah, planning is also project management.
Yeah, it is.
Execution is there, but planning is also. In fact, the portion of execution is not project management. And planning is a pure project management.
Right.
Yes, Simon, you were saying something.
No, I was not.
This is Deepak. I believe project management is a kind of approach framework to fulfill the objectives with the help of available resources. Resources, not only the human resources, resources could be tools, techniques, skills. So that's my understanding of project management at broader level.
You say applying resources on the task?
Right.
Okay.
To make sure that we are completing the objective within given time frame and budget.
Right. So if I ask, let me drill down into that. So there is a project, and if I say in this project, what are the different activities or what are the different things in the project which you consider fall into project management, and what are the things which do not fall into project management?
So see, I would say that yes, at broader level we would have a kind of list of tasks that would fall in the category of project management, like planning, execution of the planning, monitoring and controlling.
Right.
Communication would also be the part of project management. Risk management, issue management would also be the part of project management, quality assurance management. But there could be certain projects, because of the nature of the objectives, some of those tasks could be dominant compared to other tasks. But this list could be, I would say, at broader level, this list could be very vast, but some of those tasks might not be applicable to a specific project.
Okay, I agree, but tell me, what are the activities which are not project management? You know, when we define a scope, now we say, okay, do you define the scope, what is in the scope? You please also define what is not in the scope.
I would say that up to a certain extent, people management is not the part of the project management. It is more on the resource management side. Let me correct myself. People management is one thing that is not typically seen as the part of project management.
Okay, how many people agree with this?
Vivek, I kind of disagree with this, because project management process is what you need to do to manage the project. So if you have anything related to the project, it's in the project management.
Right.
When the responsibilities or functionalities over with that project, then it falls out of the project. I agree, it may go back to function, its functional area. But when it is related to the project, it is in the project.
Right.
Right. I agree on that part. See, the people, what they are doing for the project, that parts come under the project management thing. But making sure that, see, let me say that the people are getting right skills, they are getting right trainings, that might not be in the scope of project management. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, so you want to say the people management as such is not part of the project management. That's what you're trying to say. Right. Overall, so let's understand, let's hear from others what the other people think, that what is not project management, and if they want to present their views on this resource management as well. Anybody else?
Vivek, this is Rajesh here.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Basically, I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay, I would envision project management like, it could be a journey or kind of, a visionary list of, tasks that has been, planned or, visualized to meet a particular objective within a short period of time. And while going through this journey, there are a lot of disturbances created in terms of time management or in terms of resource management and stuff like that. So how do we well manage all this stuff to finally meet the objective? And it's not necessarily that we need to apply all the skills that is required that we are familiar with, and it is not necessary that we would need to use all the tools that we know to manage the project, but what best you can apply to get this objective on time and as per the requirement.
I agree, but
I envision as a project management.
I agree, but you need to also tell what is not project management in a project.
Yeah, I would say, like, it could be a particular task which is an ongoing activity, may not fall under a project management. Probably a task which you can define a particular objective.
Example.
I mean, the whole project objective could be broken down into an objective of a.
You have an example?
The whole, objective of a project. Example. Okay. Ongoing task, I would say, like, it could be.
It should be part of the project. It should be part. See, let me tell you, ongoing project is a temporary thing. So anything part of the project will also be temporary.
Yeah.
So something ongoing, only ongoing up till the project is going on. Right. After that project ends, then that task will also end. So who will say that what is not project management is a project? Looks like everything in the project is project management. except the resource management as per Deepak. I think the more confusion is on what is not project management.
I think legalities which are outside the project.
Sorry, say it again, Magan.
It's like the legalities which are outside the project.
Legality? Okay. But legality are rarely used in project management, right? In project as such. It could be part of that, but normally it is outsourced item. It's outsourced to some legal department. And it's not a so like...
For example, in the procurement, like if you have any contracts and you have any legal issues with respect to the contracts and the procurement, then I don't think project management would take.
But there are more integrated tasks in the project which are not project management, which are simply work. Like if you are constructing a building, like putting bricks over the brick and erecting a wall is not a project management, right? Or is it project management? In fact, if you see in the project management, the only few tasks are project management. Majority of the tasks in a project are not project management. If I ask someone, some architect, we have site to elaborate on that. Creating an architecture is not a project management. It's absolutely technical stuff. In fact, many project managers may not understand what the architecture is all about, or what architecture the architect has made. Isn't it?
Yes.
And that's not...
Vivek, I have one point to say.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Vivek, so when you're saying technical thing is not, could not be always part of project management.
Yeah.
But if we take in project management, one of the activities work breakdown structure. Right. So wherein just at low level, I'm just telling you that we assign work to resources. And sometimes we should understand the technicality also, and a project manager has to do it. Then would you say that that doesn't come under project management?
No, there are two things at WBS. One is creating WBS. Second is executing the work at a work package level. So doing the work at a work package, what is defined in the work package is not a project management, but creating a work breakdown structure is a project management. I mean to say, you want to build a home. In building the home, you have to build first foundation, then the base, then the walls, then the roof. So these all things to be built as a part of the project to create a work breakdown structure, rooms, hall, kitchen, and then foundation, roof, various things, and they are part of the work breakdown structure. So when you are creating work breakdown structure, this is project management. What about you are actually doing this job? When a technical person come and he started excavating the things, the land, and creating the foundation, that's not a project management, right?
Vivek, can we say like this, the physical activities are not considered as project management activities, and the softer part, the planning, the background activities, can we say so?
Not exactly, because the architecture is not a physical part as such.
No, that is the physical activities when you are really executing that. The softer activities, do they fall in the category of project management activities?
No, I say there are two types. In fact, I divide this whole thing into two portions. The project management normally contains two types of activities mainly. One is project management, and second is technical.
Okay.
If you see the kind of resources applied on technical work is much more than the project management, right? Just consider this. If there is a project team of 10 people. How many project managers are there? In a team of 10 people, how many project managers will be there?
One.
One.
One person?
One person maximum. In some project it could be half also.
Depending upon the size of the project, maybe.
Maybe two also. Maybe two also maximum. We will not go beyond two. If it is beyond two, I think we have to look into the project. Is the project too much complex? So what the other people are doing in the project? What the other 9 or 8 people doing in the project? They are doing non-project management work. There is an architect who is building architecture. There is a person who is doing this design. There is a person who is really if it is a software, the coding the stuff actually. The coding is not a project management, right?
But isn't a part of execution?
It's part of the execution, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Then if that is one of the processes you mentioned in project management, then technicality should also be considered under executing.
Absolutely,
isn't it?
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. These two things are part of the project. These are part of the project. This is not outside of project, but this is not management. What is management? You want to develop a software. You want an architecture, right? So what do? You bring an architect, bringing the architect. That is a resource. So bringing a resource for doing the work, identifying the work, then bringing a resource to do that work, and ensuring that this person does the work is project management. Actually doing the work is not project management. You see, what you are doing, first you are identifying the work, planning. Then you are bringing the person on board to do the work. Kind of execution, right? Then you allow him to do, and you see that if there are problems, you try to help him out to resolve those problems. But actually creating the architecture is a technical person's job. You would need a hardcore technical person to develop this architecture. No management skills are required. And that applies to design, coding, testing, everything. In fact, you see, out of 10 people, 9 people are actually doing the core stuff of developing the things, building the things. In a building construction, building a room is not project management, but bringing the resources to develop the construct that particular building is a part of the project management. Ensuring that when it has to happen, timeline, deciding the timeline, seeing that it should happen by that time, monitoring it, giving the direction to the people when it has to happen and how who should be involved in that. Maintaining a communication among the people. This is all project management. Not actually coding the coding the software. So if you see, our project curve come like this. Here it is initiation. Here it is planning. This part is execution actually. Execution, and in parallel monitoring and control. And here it is the closer part. So what is happening here? Majority of their efforts are going into execution, but those majority of effort are actually technical stuff. Project manager's role basically is very high here, It goes low here actually. He has to ensure that the people are doing as per the plan. In fact, resource management is the main work during the execution. If your plan is really good, you end up doing basically only resource management. Your monitoring control work will also come down because your plan is so good. And some stuff during the closer part. So your project management efforts are not more than or somewhat between 10 to 20%. 80% stuff is actually technical stuff or the business related work.
So Vivek, will it be a good understanding that project management is what needs to be done, but how it is being done, that is not the part of project management?
Largely. How is largely not part of the project management. But how comes that when it to be done, who will do it, sometime how also involve this, then it is. But if how involves that, how the exact work to be done, then yes, the project management doesn't come there.
Vivek, can I insert a verbiage? Can we call it more of orchestrating it?
Yeah, that's a project manager's key role.
Key role, rather than doing the actual work, but running the orchestra more in harmony.
Absolutely. So the harmony, the orchestra master is actually the project manager. He doesn't play, but he ensures that everybody is playing in a synchronous manner. Exactly. You have said is exactly to the point, I will say.
Sorry, I missed that. Sorry, Vivek, can you repeat what
I will say.
has mentioned?
I will say that Jera has exactly given the right example in an orchestra. The master of that orchestra is actually the project manager. He doesn't play, but he ensures that everybody is playing in a synchronous manner. Only then the symphony will come out, otherwise the orchestra doesn't work. There will be several players in the project, but project manager ensures that everybody is working in a synchronous manner as per the plan. So in the orchestra, actually the whole symphony is already planned before that, and the people play according to that. And project managers basically guide them to go up and down as per the plan. Now my thing was here to express this, that in a project, normally not more than 20% of the activities are falling into project management. What does this include? This includes planning, this includes bringing resources, this includes setting up timelines, this includes maintaining the costing of the things, ensuring that the money is available to the project, ensuring that when the people face some problem, the project manager should look into those problems and try to resolve them, help them resolving it, may not himself resolve it, but he provide a platform or support them to resolve it. Look that the people produce a quality product. See that all people are in synchronous manner, in integrated manner. So this is what project management is. If you see that rest of the things are more technical in nature, and several people are brought into the project to do the real stuff. Now what happens, this real stuff is completely depend upon the project manager's capability or the project management effort. If you see in an orchestra, if the master is missing, then orchestra just doesn't go anywhere. In fact, the orchestra is known with the master's name as such. The same is here. If this 20% is not in shape or has some problems, this will really, in the same proportion, it will amplified in the execution. Several surveys, several things, the studies have revealed that your 80% of the problems are there in this 20% area. if this 20% is taken care of, then this 80% of the execution over the technical people who are doing their job will more or less will fall in line. Simple example I normally give, when the project is maturing, at that time a lot of work is done, you find that architecture is not supporting the project needs. Later you see the architecture is not right. It looks like a technical problem, but it is not a technical problem. Why architecture is not right? Because the person who was bought on the project is not having the skills which are required by the project. And because he doesn't have those kind of skills which are required by the project, he prepared an inferior architecture. Now, how it is a project manager's problem? Because who bought this person? Project managers. Now the things come that if the project manager has bought this person, project manager also have constraint, like every time whatever the resource you need, you don't get it. That's the major problem with the project manager, that he looks for so many resources, but hardly some of the people available as per the skills required. Most of the people are not available. Then you have to manage with the available resources. That means either higher skill or lower skill. And normally higher skill is a little rare, but lower skill is normally what we normally do. So when the at par skill person is not available, we take a low skill person. That's not a problem actually. The problem arises now when we take a lower skill person but don't do anything now. What is project manager's job is to understand the gap between what project needs and what this person is capable of, and putting a plan in place or putting an effort in place to fill this gap. More you able to fill this gap, your outcome will be better. So if you have identified the gap, you can provide training to the person, you can provide a mentoring to the person, or you have some skilled resource who is not available full time, but he can give 10% to this project. Maybe you put this person under a guidance of that person. Maybe several things are possible. But if these things are done, then only they will bring results. Otherwise, they will not bring results. And that's how most of the problems which looks prima facie as technical, they are not technical, but their roots are there in the management. And therefore, the project management becomes so important. Though it is minority, the activities are minority in the project, but they control the whole project. It's like a mind. They're small, but control the whole body. Does that make sense? So normally projects initially are less, you know little about the project. As the project progresses, they are elaborated. So we normally say that projects are progressively elaborated throughout the project life cycle. May not be throughout, but at least in the initial phase, as you move into the project needs or project's details are actually unfold. And in the initial, if it is a 1 year project, maybe 1, 2, 3 months will be very challenging and very not lot of new information which will come to you. So we normally say the project is progressively elaborated, and we also suggest that it should be planned progressively. Okay, in a project there is the three things which normally come into picture: the program and the portfolio. So if you look at this portfolio may contain sub-portfolio, project and programs. A program may contain sub-programs and project, and the subprograms may contain projects. So what is a portfolio and what is a program? Both are collection of projects. Portfolio is a collection of project. Program is also a collection of project. What's the difference? The difference is in the program we collect 3 projects, say A, B, C, because all 3 belong to same technology. Let's say we have SAP consultants, we say SAP, and therefore they come all as a one called as a program. Or X, Y, Z programs are belonging to client C. So they all are put together because they bring some synergy. Because X, Y, Z share something in common. There's something in common, and they share, and managing them together is much more effective than managing them separately. So when the projects are brought together or clubbed together because they have some commonality, because they share a couple of things, then it becomes a program. And when it is a portfolio is formed normally from the organization objectives. So it is objective driven by the organization. So suppose organization in a software company, we see that they don't have any project as of now in a telecom sector, and they decided to penetrate into the telecom sector. So what they will do, they will create a portfolio called telecom and try to bring all the projects which are in this area under this umbrella. So this portfolio, if it is called telecom, then this program could be having projects which is for a client who is in telecom. This project could be belonging to some part of the telecom. The sub portfolio could be a telecom one, because you want to penetrate into this market. Why we have created this portfolio? So that we can achieve a specific objective. Client, like your organization's objective is to penetrate the market and at least grasp 5% of the market share. Now that is driven by an objective of the project. And portfolios are normally driven by the organization objectives. Why? The programs are driven by their commonality among the projects. So both are collection of the project, but their objectives are different. Right? There are various differences in that, and with respect to what exactly happens, I don't think that is much to talk about here. You may read these slides. Maybe if you find something challenging, you may bring it up tomorrow when we meet again. There is some strategic planning, and you may be knowing that there are only few strategies actually get implemented in the corporate sectors. Most of the strategy actually fails. But what is a strategy? Why a project is normally triggered, or why a project is normally started? So normally a project is started because of one of these reasons. There could be other reasons also. These are some examples. There could be a market demand. There could be a strategic opportunity in the market. There could be a social need. Something has changed in the society. It could be a environmental consideration. There are nowadays lot of projects are being triggered up because of the environmental considerations. A customer request, customer want to do something, a technological advance. Many projects are migration projects from one technology to another technology. It could be a legal requirement. Government has changed the rules. Government has changed some of the guidelines. So if you go into the banking sector, a lot of projects are happening because every second day some rules or regulations are changing in the banking sector to make it safer and safer, or to make it more like convenient for the customers or the consumers basically. So a project can be started because of one of these reasons, or there could be other reasons also. These are some examples. There is a called project management office. There are a lot of, I will take just couple of minutes and then we'll close it. Okay. I will reach to some logical place where we can close this. So the project management office, there are a lot of confusion around project management of what exactly it does. So basically in some organization, PMO is doing some shared resources, managing shared resources. Some organization it is owning the enterprise project management tool. Somewhere it is actually doing reporting work only. Somewhere it is actually supporting the project managers in doing the paperwork. And some places it have a lot of authority on the projects as such. So basically it depends upon how you define it, but as a project management office should support project managers in executing the project by providing guidelines, templates, etc., by having a regular review of the projects, supporting the project managers in controlling the projects, reporting it, reviewing it, auditing the projects, escalating the matter or bringing it to the senior management if they find that the project is not going into the right direction, helping the project managers in the office work, means the paperwork, helping the project managers in dealing with the challenges, providing external support, managing the common resources, shared resources, so that when on-time resources are required, they can be provided. Otherwise, it depends upon how you define the PMO in your office. But normally, a PMO has to be a complete office which support project management on all fronts in the project. So if you see managing resources, identifying, developing project management methodologies, developing and managing the project policies, procedures. Many of the software companies have a quality department. They actually partially do the project management office work as such. They don't do any quality work, they do project management office work. Okay, they are project and operations. As we said earlier, that projects are a objective which is to be achieved in a specific timeline. Now, opposite to this is you do not have a very specific objective, and second thing, it is ongoing. You have to, in a project, you have to bring out a unique product. In an operation, the product may not be unique. So if you have constructed a water bottle and then it goes into the production, then every day you manufacture the same water bottle. So nothing new, unique is coming out. Plus in the manufacturing, you do not have any end date when you're going to end. By the project, on the first time you are bringing in water bottle, first time you have that in 6 months I will launch a new water bottle, something like that. But in the manufacturing, you may not have some end date when it's going to end. Okay, and organization and project management, we'll discuss about it. Now, one we called business value actually. And business value is the value which a project provides in a tangible or intangible manner. And that is normally these are the basic reasons for executing the project. And your project is successful or not successful is many times weighted on business value, how it is bring out the same business value or not. Role of the project management manager. Okay, so role of the project manager is something he apply his knowledge, skills, performance. So there are three types as such: the knowledge, the performance, the soft skills we normally say, or the business knowledge, and the personal, that is the attitude, his own skills as such, not leading the people. Okay, this is the majority of the time we will discuss about these project managers' role. We come to the organization influence, so that we will cover tomorrow. From there, we will cover tomorrow that how the organizational structure and various values and etc. various things of the organization actually influence the project and largely drive the project. So in different organizations, same project will be executed in different way. Okay, so we have surpassed our time by 7 minutes, and I will see that if tomorrow we can save 7 minutes, or at least if not tomorrow, day after. Okay, thank you very much for your patience with me, and I hope that you find it is going well. If you please bring it up if you find anything anytime. Please send me your feedback anytime, feel free, and we will meet tomorrow at the same time. Request you to please join at least 5 minutes before.
Thank you.
Any question?
Vivek, this is I hope you'll be. Sorry.
Yes, I.
Hope you'll share this PDF with us, or how it goes?
It's already shared.
Okay, I didn't.
If you have got the first mail, in the first mail there is a link provided, and using that link you can download that PDF.
Okay.
And also, pmwares is
sorry, I think I have more than.
Hold on. Yes, I please complete, and then we'll move.
Yeah, that's all. I just maybe I overlooked that. I will definitely download it.
In the first email, it is the which says 1/2. In that, a link is provided. You click on that link, you will be able to download that.
And pmwares, we need to. Is it also uploaded over there?
No. Actually, pmwares is a copyright of the PMI, and it costs you around, I think, $60–70. Okay, so pmwares is not part of this. But if you become PMI's member, pmwares provide a soft copy of the pmwares to all its members.
Okay.
Which is come free of cost as a part of the membership.
Vivek,
Can you say it again, Jera?
hi Vivek. I have been looking for that the first email. I see there is an email too, but I'm not able to locate one of one myself as well.
You don't have one out of 1/2? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have
Same here, Vivek. Right.
There is
Okay.
2 of 2, but there isn't one of 2.
What I will do, I will send it to that text of that the first email to everyone again. But you also look, many times I have seen I don't know, especially with happened with the Gmail, that it land into a spam folder. So if you have not received, just look at your spam folder. Otherwise, I will anyway send it that the text of the first email to everyone. Like I think I will put them all in 2, so you all also know each other as such.
Yeah, please do. I checked in the junk mail; it's not there too.
Yeah, I will send it again. Not an issue, and you will be able to download it.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So see you tomorrow at the same time.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Vivek.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.